You didn't feel guilty sitting in that cab with the heat on? Not at all. Not at all.
Sign my name?
Yeah. Sign your name with, message down, whatever you want to do. Just so long as there's no profane.
Over the years at the wall, you know, we carry things with us. We still carry a lot with us. People continuously leave items at the wall, and everything has a story behind it. Everything has meaning behind it. And people have found, I think, closure, a sense of release, maybe a little bit of satisfaction that, wow, we finally did it. We made that walk. We couldn't make it before, but we did it. And it's kind of maybe like a freedom within themselves, you know. And I tell them, don't say goodbye, say hello. You know, we can't forget them. When you say goodbye, then you've forgotten.
We've had several people tell us, because of the size of our wall, it's 46 feet long and 8 foot tall. So it's, you know, it's about the size of a tractor trailer, actually. And the wall up in D.C. is 494 and a half feet long. It's a huge piece of work, and the names are spread out. Our wall, the impact of 58,000 plus names hitting you all at once, brings back to reality what it costs us to be over there.
There was a young girl that came up with her dad, and she started to cry. She touched the wall, and then she looked at her father, and she says to her father, "Dad, would you mind if I signed my real name?" And the father said, "Sweetheart, I wouldn't want you to sign in any other way." And she said, "My dad died when I was a year old over in Nam, and I never got the chance to meet my real father." And she signed it, "Daddy, I love you and I miss you and I'll always remember you, your daughter," and signed her, you know, her real name. In the VA hospital, a soldier, his name was Willie, I'll never forget Willie. We brought the wall in.
And Willie would not go near the wall, but because of the program he was in, the person that was running the program told him he had to stay there even if it was just to serve coffee.
Well, he wouldn't even give me a cup of coffee. He was giving me looks that I said, okay. So anyway, I walked up to him the second day and I said, "Willie, listen," I says, I can see that you're having a problem with the wall being here. I says, you know, and I'm not going to apologize for it. I says, you know, I'm sorry that you can't walk up to it. I says, and obviously you have a good reason for that. But if you look around you, how many of your other brothers here are walking up and they're finding closure? That's what this is all about. It's finding closure. I said, if you need to cry, you can cry. I said, and Tom and I are here to hold you when you do. I said, if you ever feel that you want to walk up to the wall before I leave, I'll make that walk with you. Just say, "Miss Dee, will you make the walk with me?" The day we were ready to break down, Willie walked up to me, put his arm around me, and he said, "Miss Dee, would you make that walk with me?" And we walked the whole wall, and he touched every panel, and he cried, and he cried, and he cried. And then after, he told me that he lost 12 men on that wall. And Willie passed away, how long was it after?
3 months.
And he had said to one of the people there, he says, "Just give Tom and Dee a message from me. Thank you. I found closure." We had a gentleman that would not come up to the wall. His wife did come up to it, and she finally talked him to come and see it, and he kept pacing back and forth with his arms behind his back, and she goes, I told him to come because he's got his friends on the wall. Finally, I said to the wife, "What's his friend's name?" He kept calling him Moose. That's all he would say. That was his nickname, Moose. So anyway, I walked up and I said, "Well, you want to give me Moose's real name?" And he just glared at me. So I said, "So give me his name." So she did. I went up and I had Tom make out a printout. I walked up to the wife and I said to the wife, "What you can do is you can take the soldier's name and place it in front of the panel for your husband." Well, the next thing I know, the husband was holding the piece of paper, the printout, sent the wife to get the flowers and also a frame. And then he walked up to me and he said to me, "I want to touch his name." He's like, "Couldn't go to Washington, I couldn't go to the other walls that have been here, but there's something about this wall."
We had a young fella come in, they were headed back to Iraq. We were at Amelia Island. They seen the unit flag and he pointed and he says, "Look, that's our unit." And he was pointing to the 101st Airborne, which was the outfit I was with over in Nam. And we got to talk, and then you knew just by the way this individual acted and talked that if anything happened, it was going to happen to him because he'd be protecting the other three. He was the take charge kid. And he signed the ribbon that we have. We ask everybody to sign it. For those that can't get to the wall up in D.C. or the big traveling wall, when this ribbon is the length of the memorial up in D.C., it's the colors of the Vietnam service ribbon. The Patriot Guard tentatively is going to escort it to the wall, and the color guard's going to march it out. So all the prayers and messages are lifted up for the people that can't make it there. This young individual signed it and said, "You are relieved. We'll take over from here." And I'm looking at this and I'm saying, that baby is telling me I'm relieved and he's going to take over from. He was the same age I was when I went to Nam. And, you know, puts a whole different perspective on what these kids are doing over there, because we had volunteers, but we also had the draft. These kids have to keep going back time after time after time, and they're doing it because of their sense of duty.